In the earlier class, we have discussed about partial differential equation of second order. Is not it? And can you tell me the definition of partial differential equation of second order? Can you tell me the form of the partial differential equation of second order? Hello? Anyone, can you tell me the form of the partial differential equation of second order? First, we have to discuss about partial differential equation. After that, we have discussed about types of PDE. After that, first order, how to solve PDE of first order. In the previous class, we will discuss about partial differential equation of second order. Okay. And now tell me what is the form of the PDE of second order? Can anyone tell me? All of you forgot it. Hello? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you tell me the form of the partial differential equation of second order? What type of equation is considered as the PDE of second order?
Ma'am, first order, second order, first.
No, first order. I tell about the second order PDE.
D square y dx square a d square y dx square plus b dy plus dx plus cy equal to 0.
A d square y, yes, z.
A d square y d square plus b dy by dx plus c equal to 0. Is it, ma'am?
You can tell about differential equation. This is the form of second order ordinary differential equation. Now I am telling about partial differential equation, not ordinary differential equation. Ordinary differential equation has already discussed in the second sem. Now in your course it is a PDE, partial differential equation. First order PDE is of the form what? F of x, y, z, p, q equals to 0. Remember that, because in your exam MCQ type question will be arise. So it comes from that side also. So try to remember that one. First order partial differential equation is of the form x, y, z, p, q equals to 0. F of x, y, z, p, q equals to 0. In ordinary differential equation, we consider one variable as the independent variable and other one is dependent variable. Okay, y is considered as dependent variable in case of ordinary differential equation. So equation can is comes as what? A d2y dx square plus b dy dx plus c equals to 0. Okay. In ordinary differential equation, we consider one variable as x is considered as independent variable and y is considered as dependent variable. But in case of partial differential equation consists at least two independent variable. Okay, it is necessary in the PDE. You have to consider two independent variable and one dependent variable. Okay, but in case of ordinary differential equation, you consider one independent variable and one dependent variable. But in case of PDE, you have to consider two independent variable and other one is dependent variable. So if we talk about suppose first order PDE, then equation is of the form f of x comma y comma z comma p comma q equals to 0, where xy is what? Xy is the independent variable and dependent variable is what? Z. So its derivative will become, that's why P and Q is what? P is the del Z by del X and Q is what? Del Z by del Y. Okay? Understand? Have you understand?
Ma'am.
Have you understand or not?
Yes, ma'am.
So try to remember the difference between ordinary and partial differential equation. First difference is what? In case of ordinary differential equation, we consider two variables. One is independent and another one is dependent. In case of ordinary differential equation, we consider y as dependent variable. So derivatives will become of y. So equation is look like as, suppose A del 2y del x square plus b del y del x plus c equals to 0. Okay, but in case of partial differential equation, it is mandatory that you have to consider two independent variable and one dependent variable, and the derivative of dependent variable is also comes. So equation of the form of first order PDE is what? F of x comma y comma z comma p comma q equals to 0, where x and y are what? X and y are independent variable and z is dependent variable. And p and q are what? Derivatives of z. So p is what? P is the del z by del x and q is what? Del z by del y. Understand? This is the first order PDE. Okay? Understand? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, then I am telling about second order PD. Second order PDs of the form is what? In case of second order PDs also we have to consider two
Yes.
independent variable and was one dependent variable, and each derivative will also comes because we are telling about second order. So second order derivatives will be comes here. Okay, so equation is of the form f of x comma y comma z comma p comma q. First order term, all terms are comes and second order terms is also included. So here we included that term like as r comma s comma t equals to 0, and this is what? Xy. Here also x and y are what? Independent or independent? X
Dep-
comma y is dependent or independent variable?
Dependent.
What? X and y are dependent or independent variable?
Is dependent.
Dependent or independent? Say properly.
Dependent, ma'am.
No, no, not dependent. It is independent. When x and y are comes, remember that in partial differential equation, x comma y are independent variable. Because in case of partial differential equation, you have at least two independent variables. So we consider x and y as independent variable. And remember that here z is only dependent variable. Understand? Hello?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
X and Y are what? X and Y are independent
Independent.
variable. Okay?
Dependent. Okay.
And Z is what? Z is dependent variable and its derivatives will be comes here. So P is what? P is what? Equation is of the form x comma y f of x comma y comma z. I have already told that x and y are independent variable and z is what? Dependent variable. And here P is what? P is what? P is nothing else. It is del z by del x. Remember these things. Write the, you have to write this one. Write the form. Write like as second order partial differential equation is defined as the form write it. Second order PDE is defined as of the form f of x comma y comma z comma p comma q comma r comma s comma t equals to 0. লিখিছানে?
Yes, ma'am.
লিখিলা কমপ্লিট কে? f of x comma y comma z comma p comma q comma r comma s comma t equals to 0. Okay? And next write as where x and y are where x comma y are independent variable. Where x comma y are independent variable and z is dependent variable.
Then
Okay? Now write as and p equals to what? P equals to what? Del z divided by del x. Del z by del x. P equals to del z by del x, comma q equals to del z by del y. লিখিলা লিখিছানে চবে
Yes, ma'am.
P equals to del z by del x, Q equals to del z by del y, comma R equals to del 2z by del x square. Ranjit,
Del 2x.
what?
And del 2x, y.
Del 2z, R equals to small r, it is small r equals to del 2z by del x square. That means second order derivative. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
You have to differentiate twice. R equals to del 2z by del x square. Next, right? T equals to small t equals to del 2z divided by del y square. Del 2z by del y square. Because you have to differentiate in that case. You have to differentiate with respect to y. Del 2 z by del y square. Okay, and s t, and t equals to del 2z by del y square. And t equals to what? Del 2z by del y square. Okay, in sometimes it is right as equation is right as look like as capital R small r. Okay, equation can be right as it is also right the end the equation of that form is also right as capital R small r plus capital S small s plus capital T small t plus capital capital T capital T small t plus capital P small p plus capital Q small q small q plus z equals to f of x comma y. Plus z equals to f of x comma y. লিখি হৈছে? Have you complete?
Yes, ma'am.
And here also r is same. Small r is what? Small r is here small r is what?
Del
Del
square
square del square
equal to
Del
del
2z by
del
x
x
square.
del x square. Are you know the meaning of this one? Del 2z by del x square?
Yes, ma'am. Integration twice.
What?
Integrating twice, ma'am.
Okay, not integrating, differentiating twice, partially differentiating.
Yes, ma'am.
Del is used what? Partial differential equation. Okay? the symbol del is used to denote partial differential equation. Okay, it is not the symbol of integration.
Okay, ma'am.
And small d means what? This is ordinary differential equation. Small d indicates the differentiation. And del is means what? Del is means the partial differential equation. Okay? And similarly, for capital R plus capital S. S is what? Small s is what? Small s is what? Can you tell me small s is what? I have already told you. Hello? Hello?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Small s is what?
0, ma'am.
What? Yes, Partho, tell me, small s is what?
1.
No, small s is not 1. It is the what? It is del 2z by del x del y. Understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Similarly, for suppose small r is what? Twice the partial differentiation of twice. Okay, so it is what? Del 2z by del x square. Similarly, s is what? Del 2z by del x del y. Okay,
Okay, ma'am.
and t is what? Small t.
Small p is del square z by del y square, ma'am.
Yeah, correct. Del 2z by del y square.
Square.
This is also partial differential equation in twice. Okay. Del y means what? Differentiating, partially differentiating with respect to y. Okay. Now
Yes, ma'am.
clear. Is it clear now?
Yes, ma'am.
Then next term is what? P, small p. Small p is what? Capital P, small p. Now tell me small p is what?
Del square z.
No, del square will not comes. When P is given, this is what? First order. P is used for first order, smaller st used for second order. Okay? Small p is what? Del z by del x. Is it clear? Is it clear? Hello?
Ma'am. Yes, ma'am. It's clear now, ma'am.
P is what? P is what? I told you already. P is what? Small p is what?
Del Z.
Del z by del x. Okay?
By del x.
And now tell me q is what?
Del z by del y.
Yeah, del z by del y. Okay? And z equal to f of x comma y. Okay? Here we have discussed about small r, s, t, p, q. Okay? Now capital R, capital S, capital T, capital P, capital Q, and Z. These are what? Can you tell me? We are discuss about small part. Now this one, capital R, capital S, capital T, capital P, capital Q, and Z.
Dep-
These are what?
dependent variable.
What?
Dependent variable.
Okay, these are what? These may be constant, right? Yes.
Depend,
It may be constant or function of x and y only. Okay, it may be constant. Okay, sometimes it may be constant or it may be function of x and y only. Understand?
yes, ma'am.
Now all are clear. First order partial differential equation, second order partial differential equation. If we ask about first order, second order, now I think you will tell about properly. Yes or no? Have you any doubt?
No, ma'am.
Now you can give the answer uh, any type of such question. First order PD, second order PD. First order PD is form of first order PD is what? Equation of first order partial differential equation is what? Equation of first order PD is what? How can it define? I have already discussed it. Second order part is discussed. Now tell me the first order equation. Indramani, tell me. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Tell me the form of first order PD.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me the form of first order PDE.
Del Z by del X, ma'am.
What? Properly say the form. Like as this one, f of x, comma y, comma z, comma p, comma q, comma r, comma s, comma t, comma. This is the second order. Like that one, tell me the form of the first order PDE.
Ma'am, it's X, comma Y, comma Z, comma P, comma Q, ma'am.
Yeah, f of x, comma y, comma z, comma p, comma q equals to 0.
True.
Now, is it clear?
Ma'am, now it's clear.
Here also in first order case, x and y are what?
Variables, ma'am. Independent variables.
Yeah, independent variable. Z is
Dependent variable.
the dependent variable and p is
Variable.
what?
Independent variable, ma'am.
How can we
So
tell this is independent?
dependent, ma'am.
It is dependent and actually it is not dependent variable. It is the derivative of z. Only three variables are there: x, comma y, comma z. Okay, x and y are independent and z is dependent. And p and q are what? Derivatives of z. Okay, derivative of z. So p is what? In the second order equation, I have already given it. P is what?
Capital P or small p, ma'am.
Yeah, not about capital P and small q. Small p and small q. Capital P and capital Q, these are either constant or function of x and y. I tell about small p and small q. Because in the first order equation is of the form what? F of x, comma y, comma z, comma p, comma q.
Okay.
P is what now? In the second order, see the form of the second order equation. I have already given you. In that equation, P is what?
Del Z by del X.
Yes, say loudly.
Del Z by del X.
Del z by del x, derivative of z. We are tell about first order, so p is used to denote the first derivative, first order derivative. So it is what? Del z by del x. Understand? And q is what?
Del Z by del Y.
Yeah, del z by del y. Okay, for the first order, we as we are interested to give the equation of the form first order. So we are included the derivative of first order. When we go to the second order case, then second order derivative is also be included. So r, small s, small t, these terms will be comes in the second order equation. Is it clear? Is it clear or not?
Yes, ma'am.
In the first order case, we have to include the first derivative. So we stop in P comma Q. Okay. But in the case of second order, we included what terms? P and Q is also there. Okay. Besides of P and Q, we included the second order derivatives. Okay, like that, small r, small s, small t. This is the second derivative, and P and Q is what? First derivative. Now, is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
You are confusing in the form of the equation.
Yes,
I have
ma'am.
already
Confused.
discussed about problems also, method is also discussed. But right now you are confusing in the form of the equation. So I repeated that thing. Okay? If you are confusing
Okay.
the form of the equation, then you cannot solve the problem. Suppose you are given an equation, then you cannot have an idea what type of equation is this. Is it first order or second order? Then you will confusing what method will be applied to solve that type of equation. Because for the first order, we have to use two methods to solve the equation. Okay, first we have in the preliminary step we have to discuss some by eliminating constant. Also by eliminating constant we can solve the problems. After that we are discussing about Lagrange method, Sharp's method. But if you are confusing at the first step, how can you solve that the equation? So I repeated that thing. Your first aim is to uh, see what type of equation you are given. After that, you have to apply method to solve the equation. Otherwise, you cannot solve it. Okay, because methods are different for first order and second order case. Okay, first you have to, your aim is what? First you have to identify the equation is, whether the equation is first order or second order. Okay. Now, can we identify the equation is first order or second order? Is there any confusion?
No, ma'am.
If suppose P, I have already give you the K notes hints also, because if suppose P and only P and Q terms will arise. Remember this thing. P and Q term is arise, then you can think that this is the first order partial
First order.
differential. Understand?
Ma'am.
If only P and Q terms are arise. Okay, then you can guess that this is the first order partial differential equation. Or suppose it is write as this one,
First
del
order.
z by del x, 5 del z by del x plus 6 del z by del y plus z equals to suppose 0. I suppose given equation, suppose 5 del z by del x plus 6 del z by del y plus z equals to 0. Now tell me, it is first order or second order?
First order, ma'am.
It is first order because here del z, del x and del z, del y is arise. Okay, or
Yes, ma'am.
suppose it is look like as this one, 5p plus 6q equals to suppose 0. Remember that if p and q terms are arise, this is the first order PDE. Okay, in first order PDE, we discuss about linear partial
Okay.
differential equation. Okay, linear means what? the degree is 1, derivatives of the degree of the equation is 1, and multiple terms will not arise. Multiple term means what? Multiple term of z will not arise in that equation, because z is dependent variable. We are included the derivative of z only. So multiple term of z will not come in any equation. Then we consider this equation is what? Linear partial differential equation. Okay, for the first order linear partial differential equation, we use Lagrange method. Understand? And for the suppose nonlinear equation, suppose quasi-linear equation, we use what? Sharpit's method. Okay, so your aim is to what? Your aim is, first aim is to identify the equation whether it is first order or second order. After that, to solve the equation, you have to use various methods. Okay, I think it is clear today. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, then I'll stop today and revise the previous notes. See the previous
Okay.
notes. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Ma'am,
Yeah, tell me.
hello.
Yeah, tell me.
আমাৰ গোটেই syllabus খিনি share কৰি দিবচোন মেম গ্ৰুপত মানে
Ha.
গোটেই syllabus খিনি মানে মেম মেথছৰ যিমানখিনি syllabus লাগে এইটো সেমিষ্টাৰৰ পৰা share কৰি দিবচোন মানে মোৰ হেৰাই গৈছে মানে মেম PDF টো syllabus খিনি মানে মেম PDF টো মানে পাইছিলো কিন্তু হেৰাই গৈছে মানে মেম
ঠিক আছে, তেতিয়া মই গ্ৰুপত দি আছো, শ্বেয়াৰ কৰি দিম।
থ্যাংক ইউ মেম
ঠিক আছে দিয়া, for today I'll stop. Okay.